This is the Comedy Food Truck Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Comedy Food Truck and subscribe to us on the Comedy Food Truck YouTube channel to see full video versions of each episode. You can find links to all of this at comedyfoodtruck.com. Like us, share us, subscribe, and leave a review. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show.
Take it to the bridge.
You're listening to the Comedy Food Truck Podcast. We talk life, food, relationships, and have fun with all of it.
Wow.
And now here's your host, comedian John Hill.
John Hill. Sweet niblets.
Your niblets are weak.
You know, it doesn't matter how far I think I'm holding back. I'm still blowing Jared's ears out. Jared got no wax. I said I'm still blowing ears out. What did I say?
I don't know. I didn't catch it
I don't
either.
even know why that's funny.
Oh boy! I'm gonna leave that one alone.
How? I don't understand. That's a very common phrase when you. He's got headphones on and blew his ears out. What does that mean? That you guys are laughing about? What dirty reason are you laughing,
Yeah,
Mr.
boy.
Jen?
It's because Randy's here.
It's like you're turning everything into an inappropriate thought.
No.
Take every cot.
Oh boy! Thank you very much.
I tried to say take every thought captive, and I pushed those two words together too quick. Take every thought captive.
That's what happens with the owl.
Yeah, I know. That was 2 episodes ago, or at least, and I'm not an owl.
Refreshing.
I think I'm an owl. Not an owl. There's no W. I'm just an owl.
This Stewart's orange and cream is really refreshing.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Product placement.
Yes, the gin here is good too.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is
Don't
gin.
try to convince people.
J-I-N-N.
No, I'm saying no,
cherry's
it's
not
not good. I know it's gin.
It is good.
It's not good.
It is. It's mint and.
There's no carbs. There's no sugar.
microphone's
and
right
there's
there,
no
Scott.
taste. Yeah.
Right. There's no. Sorry, you forgot where it was. Natural flavor.
It's like a knockoff Monster drink with nothing in
No
it.
sugar.
Yeah, I know. It's just carbonated water.
That's all right. It's good
Don't
carbonated
try to
water.
tell the people it's good.
I actually like it.
Gives me energy.
Gives me energy. It even says energy drink right there. Yeah. Right there. See?
I got brominated vegetable oil.
Energy drink.
Well, I'm not disputing all the things you've made, the claims you've made, except for that it tastes good. The rest of it, I believe. Hey, guys. Welcome
Hi.
to the show. I feel like we started this conversation. The whole audience like, can we come back in? Is there any way we can come back into the show?
Guys, we're still here.
Yeah, can we still? They're like watching us from outside the window. Can someone open the door?
Like, let the
Sad
milkman
music.
in.
Settle your family feud over beverages. All right, guys. Well, hey, it's going to be another great show. And with me as the crew, as always, is my man Jared on my left. Say what's up, Jared.
What's up?
And Scotty.
I don't know.
What's up?
Scotty Gator, Lord of the Rings. No, sorry.
Body.
Gollum.
Rewind.
We have Randy with us once again. Randy's been a hit every show that he's been on, and so he's back with us again. Say hello, Randy.
Hello.
Randy Mills. Oh, we're not supposed to say last names. I'm sorry. He's in the witness protection program. And finally, but the reason he's not least is because, last but not least, is because he's going to run the show today. Is our man Ray. What's up, Ray? That's you. There it is. Ray's entrance to every show.
Side.
Hi, guys.
It's like he was napping and we rolled him over and said, come on, man, let's start talking.
What?
There you go. What do you got for us today, Ray? What are we doing this show on?
We are going. It's so loud.
Guys are pigs.
All the way home. All the way. We are going to talk about film scores, movie music, and
Oh, when you said film scores, I thought maybe we were going to like give ratings to films,
Yeah.
but you mean movie music.
movie.
Like
Movie
soundtracks.
Soundtracks.
Exactly.
Sound,
Soundtrack.
theme songs, soundtracks, all the above.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Favorites.
Favorite composers, favorite movies that wouldn't be the same without that music. Maybe some obscure. You made a yummy sound.
Don't sound like you just found a steak dinner.
Biscuits and mustard.
It's nice.
Must be my lucky day.
Biscuits and gravy.
I do love me some biscuits and gravy.
Oh, man.
And everybody. We're so sidetracked. Audience again is like,
No
we're,
one
we're
mentioned
still
food.
Here. We're still here. Okay.
So that's the idea.
All right.
So I know I consider myself a musician, and I know Jared, I would consider him a musician.
I consider you a musician.
Thank you. Thank you. John plays too.
Wow.
Some. So,
Not a musician, though.
I don't know about Scott. Scott, do you play an instrument at all?
Kazoo.
Slide whistle.
I used to play the spoons. No,
Nice.
Yeah.
The
I
ladies.
used to play the drums in a church choir when I was younger.
Good enough.
That's right.
Close enough, man. All
How
right.
you going to have a drums and a choir?
That was
Right.
it, though. Just a choir
It was
and drums.
And drums.
I did.
That's crazy. That's
I got
cool.
a lot of dirty looks too, but yeah, it actually happened.
Dirty looks.
Well, yeah, before
A lot of ladies in the choir were digging Scott.
Well, no, I mean, I used to play drums in the church choir, like you said. Like back when there wasn't probably supposed to be drums in a church choir.
Yeah, right.
People were
I
looking
don't
at
think
it.
there's ever supposed to be drums in a church choir. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
think today still there isn't supposed to be drums.
So you're saying from the crowd you're getting dirty looks, not from the choir.
Right. Yeah.
gotcha.
Yes.
Interesting.
Self-righteous hypocrites.
I know.
Right.
Gosh.
So, anyways, that's
Crazy
the,
Mormons.
That's
Stockton.
Tabernacle Choir. Downtown
Was
Stockton.
it,
Mormons.
was it the Stockton Tabernacle Choir? Is that
A bunch of shore workers.
Yeah, the Stockton Men's
Teamsters.
Tabernacle Choir.
That's good. The boys.
Yeah, they're on the east side.
The boys of Stockton.
Oh, man.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of the idea. So the angle at what I was going with that was, so you get kind of different opinions, I guess, of music. And what,
So are you throwing movies out? Are we asking, what are you going to ask us questions? How are we going to roll this?
Well, I mean,
What do you prefer? What is your fancy?
I mean, do you have a film composer? I mean, there's some of the obvious ones that are just this powerhouses, these guys that are just, that are the go-to guys. But do you have somebody that's maybe not so mainstream? I have one.
You
That
guys
one's-
talk about composers, but I can talk about maybe movies that had great film scores, but I don't know who necessarily composed it.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
even-
start us with who do you guys think are good composers? And give us some examples of movies they composed.
I'm blanking on the guy's name that did The Pirates.
The Pirates
Oh,
of the Caribbean.
Cannot think of his name.
Danny Elfman.
No, not Danny.
That's the only one I know.
no.
Sorry.
It's
I
a
don't-
dead
I can't-
man's
If you had a computer, you could look it up. But
Yeah, I do have a
look it up
computer.
on IMDb or whatever.
My favorite, though, is the obvious, is John Williams.
Well,
Johann
yeah.
Williams.
Because he is
What's the movies John Williams did so the audience would know who he is?
John Williams.
Couple of big movies he
Basically, anything that George Lucas has done or Spielberg has done is probably John Williams.
Okay.
Like 90% of their stuff.
So
is
what are
John
some
Williams.
movies they did, just in case the audience has no idea?
E.T. is
Okay.
John Williams.
Anything more recent?
Anything more recent?
Is he still alive? I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did
Yeah.
the latest Star Wars trilogy as well.
Yes
He's
and no.
done other stuff.
Yes and no. He actually wrote portions of
You're
the
right.
new Star Wars trilogy. He wrote like Ray's theme. That is John Williams. But some of the other soundtracks, some of the other score was a different composer. I don't know who it was.
Okay.
But he is still writing for Star Wars. But yeah, Star Wars is a big one, obviously. But he did Schindler's List is John Williams.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
No, that was
is-
John
is
Williams.
Did he do
Williams.
Jaws?
Jaws is John Williams.
Home Alone.
Home Alone. Yeah, that's another one. That's a big one.
That's when you mentioned like movies that wouldn't be the same without the soundtrack. That
Yeah.
movie would have been awfully campy without that music.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's a film like Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Has an amazing soundtrack. If you take the music out of the movie and just my kids play music all the time at home and they always play soundtracks, and you take that music out of the movie, and that's Hans Zimmer, and he even said himself when he writes,
Wasn't he the bad guy in Die Hard?
I think so, Gruber, he favorite Christmas movie, and he even said at one point that when he composes, he composes for the scene, for the film, and then he listens to it without the film to make sure that it can stand on its own. Is this music good enough without the film? And that's what makes it such great. To me, that's what makes it such great music, is because the music can stand on its own. It doesn't need the film to be good music. So,
Good.
anyways,
Awesome.
Hans Zimmer was the one that did Pirates.
Oh, he
by the
did.
way. Yeah.
He did. Okay, so same guy. Yeah, Hans Zimmer. He's another big one. Another one that's kind of obscure is Steve Jablowski.
Okay.
I think I'm saying his name right, but he's done all the Transformer movies.
Okay.
The Transformer soundtrack.
Yeah.
He's also done a lot of video game soundtracks, which is huge. I found out. I was talking with a friend, and he's saying that the video game industry has actually passed up the Hollywood industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because all these movies you could see when you look at credits, these guys go do voiceovers for all these crazy video games and everything else.
And all the cut scenes.
It's like it's like
insane.
merchandise, but it's even bigger, like on steroids, because they just keep going.
Alan Silvestri is another one.
Silvestri.
He's done. He did the Back to the Future movies. He did Forrest Gump, Castaway, Avengers.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So when you talk about a soundtrack, you're saying basically though like an original, because I know of some soundtracks, but they weren't composed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's my
I
favorite.
think has an incredible soundtrack.
Right?
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But
soundtrack.
it's not composed. I mean,
Right.
they're just using songs, obviously. From,
Right.
You know, who did the Rocky thing and the theme and all that?
Oh, that's a good one.
The original
Rocky,
one.
yeah.
Because that was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Survivor.
Not the other guys.
Survivor.
Yeah, not the Eye of the Tiger.
Eye
Or
of the
whatever. Yeah, not that one. Although that was at the time, people loved
That was
it. but-
hot.
Yeah.
His name was Bill Conti.
Oh yeah. I've heard that name
Okay.
before. What he's done other stuff.
Probably so. Let me.
Yeah. Like Expendables. I'm kidding. There's other stuff I know that he's done. Trying to think of movies.
James
though.
Bond. He did some James Bond movies.
Okay.
He did The
Okay.
Right Stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a good soundtrack, by the way. The Right Stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The movie about him going to space and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good soundtrack.
Thomas Crown Affair. Necessary Roughness.
Oh,
ever see that
that was a great
movie?
movie, but
Interesting.
Who was that
don't know
girl? Was
about-
it Kathy Ireland?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
She was the she was the kicker, wasn't she?
the button.
Wow.
That was safe.
His hair just grew.
John,
At the
come
time.
on back. John,
At the time.
we need you to come back.
Hey, I tell you, I met her.
You did, yeah.
Really?
Got a picture of
And
her.
you're still
yeah.
alive?
Actually touched her. Had my arm right on
Whoa.
her shoulder. But I was married, so she's out of luck. But the point is,
Too late.
right? No, seriously, I did. I met her at. She's a Christian, and she was at a concert that we were at, and I saw her, and I was surprised. Nobody else really seemed to know who she was, but I'm like, that's Kathy Ireland, and I'm with my wife, right? And so I'm like, let's go say hi, and yeah,
And
it's
she's
really
like, no,
cool.
and you're like, yeah, let's go.
Oh no, Rach was totally cool about it. She actually knew who she was, but I went up, but mostly because in our marriage I confessed this sin to her. But so I went up and said hi and all that, and then she took a picture with us, and it's cool. It's a little awkward because she and Rach are looking at the camera, and I'm looking at Kathy. But I'm joking. I'm not. I'm just joking. But that's I remember.
drool.
Yeah, I remember being probably an older teenager, I guess, maybe early 20s,
Right.
and so the whole Sports Illustrated.
How long were you guys taking
Right,
pictures?
I know. Sports Illustrated
Still has an effect.
swimsuit edition.
The Sunrise issue.
Was like a huge, no, trust me, no, no sunrise calendar, but there's a swimsuit
Yeah.
edition.
Mhm.
That it's gotten a little more racy more recently, but when she was in it, it was just, it's swimsuits, but those Sports Illustrated swimsuit models, their whole careers would be made by being in that
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one.
That's it. You're here.
I mean, I could
You
write.
made it.
There's like 8 or 10 of them around that time. Those just happened to be the age I was at and all that. There's some they're pretty girls, But then it didn't help things because then you go around thinking that's the girl you want to meet, and
That's the standard.
and it's they're all airbrushed and everything. They
Who was the other one that was that? Paulina Poroskova?
yeah. Paulina Poroskova was during there. Naomi Campbell. Cindy Crawford was actually an
that's who
earlier
she-
one. Obviously Kathy. There's Stephanie Seymour. I can name 6 or 8. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, obviously, at that time, but you grow up and then it's just something that's,
Reality sets in.
well, I mean, it's a kid thing. You're a teenage boy. I mean,
Right.
So it's
Right.
nothing like today. I mean, gosh, now, what they show on Instagram now would have been porn back then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't like it was for the time. It was still certainly racy enough that there were people who thought it was inappropriate for sure, and it was more than any kid should be looking at, no doubt. But at the same time, compared to now, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very lightweight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
So I got one for you, John. I'm down.
Apparently, sports has a combination in it.
My baby too.
That and the Nutter Butter cookies have put me over the edge.
I know it's gonna be. It's like an ad. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. What would you have for me?
Godfather.
Yes, I wanted to ask.
Amazing soundtrack.
I do. I totally think it's great, and I'm trying to remember.
I can't think
who
of the
did the
composer.
Mario Puzo did the book, and then
I want to say. Wait, don't tell me, Jared.
Nick Cage's uncle Coppola directed.
Don't tell me, Jared. I want to say.
Was that also the Williams?
No.
Or Zimmer, one of those guys? Because I can't remember. It's somebody I know. I'll know the name.
I want to say like Goldstein, not Goldstein. It's on the tip of my tongue. What is it?
It's somebody Italian.
Nino Rota.
I knew it would be somebody Italian because it's
Not what I was
Coppola.
thinking. Oh yeah. So there you go. Great soundtrack.
Yeah, the
Great.
whole thing.
Amazing.
How could you have a movie about the Italian mob directed by an Italian and then bring in some Polish dude or something?
Right. It's got to be Italian.
Italian.
Yeah, it's great music. Great.
Yeah, he does great. The soundtrack for The Godfather is one of those epic. I was going to say Jaws also. I thought had a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
It sounds like that was John Williams. I didn't know it was, but yeah, he had I think they had a good. Thought that they had a good soundtrack. I think. What about Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, I don't know.
But it had some pretty good music in that. Even some of the stuff that was probably what do you call them? I don't know what you would call it when you pull tracks that are already in circulation. A song that was already.
Oh yeah, using
covers. Sorry,
using a cover.
They use a couple covers, but I think there was some original stuff in there
Stuff
too.
that fits. Yeah.
Thomas Newman.
Okay.
Shawshank.
Newman. Okay, yeah. One of my favorites that has really grown on me is Ennio Morricone, or Ennio, however you want to say it.
Is that the guy you were talking about in a previous episode that did that cover of just trying to be like James Brown?
No, that was somebody else.
That was that.
That was the dude.
That was funny. No, this guy is one of those guys where when I tell you what he scored, you're gonna go, oh yeah, this is the guy who did
Kathy
all.
Ireland?
He scored.
Well, forget now. She's a Christian. She only had one
I'm
husband.
sorry. All right.
Go ahead.
But all of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns.
Oh, sure.
He did all that music. But yeah, exactly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. A fistful of dollars, a few dollars more. And then he recently passed away. And he also did.
So did Clint.
Some other.
Oh, wait, no, not yet.
The more I looked into him, he's like the John Williams of Italy.
Sure.
He's like the guy. And there's some other stuff that he's done that's just
he
beautiful.
didn't land Godfather.
Beautiful music.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Just
That's
there's one
great.
there's a movie called The Mission. Looks like a terrible movie. It's got like Jeremy Irons and some other people in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
De Niro.
De Niro's in it.
Isn't that
They're monks.
Jeremy? Yeah, and they play like priests or monks or something. Yeah.
Oh.
He's
They go to like San Salvador or
that's
something
his
and get
soundtrack.
slaughtered.
Yeah, that whole oboe called Gabriel's Oboe, that piece in there.
Yeah.
He wrote all that music. And it's like you hear that and you're like, this is the same guy that did the westerns, because it's like this totally different. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
The western stuff was kind of quirky and kind of fun, but
What about some of either Alfred Hitchcock, but also I was thinking of like The Shining, some of those kind of scarier type.
Yeah.
Are there composers that are kind of known for that?
I don't know.
I wonder. I'm trying to think of good movies, like the good ones, not like maybe Halloween, but I'm not like that kind of stuff. Not the campy, the suspenseful kind of really good stuff. Trying to think of some examples, movies wise. People are probably screaming at me in the audience.
Well, a lot of like the slasher films and stuff had some very iconic, like Halloween had a very iconic.
Or even like Psycho. I mean,
Psycho,
the shower thing, that's all composed, right?
Right, yeah, all the music and everything.
So, I mean, it's crazy, and you're right. Some of it's really, like sort of this beautiful flowing, sort of melodic kind of thing in some movies. And other movies, it's cover tunes and it's kind of a track that way. And does that make sense? And there's movies you want to get. Oh, actually, it has a great soundtrack. Purple Rain.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's like an epic, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying. But did
Right.
Prince score any other movies? I think he did. I think
he might have dabbled in.
I think he actually scored a few movies here or there, because I'm trying to remember that weren't his. I want to say he was used by other directors or whatnot. What? Yeah. Scott's got this look. He leans in like he's going to say something.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
Why? Why start now? Why start using restraint now?
I know what he's thinking.
I was going to say he scored Apollonia Cotero, but...
Yes.
Lake Minnetonka.
Yes.
Huh?
Lake Minnetonka.
Lake Minnetonka in Minnesota. That's in the movie. Yeah, that's why she's in the movie.
You know who's an underrated composer is Mel Brooks.
He did music?
do
Believe it
the
or not,
composing?
dude, he wrote music for almost every single movie he did.
No way.
That had music. Like a lot of the songs in Blazing Saddles were all him.
Really?
The producers, that was all him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I do remember that.
yeah.
That's the one where they try to do that crazy Nazi play, right, to
yeah.
lose money.
Great. Now I got that song stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's him and
Springtime for Hitler
right.
and Germany.
That's right. It was horrible.
Yeah. They like set out to make a bad
Yeah.
play. Yeah. Who was his counterpart when he played it? Because I know later Nathan Lane played it with somebody. I
Nathan
can't
Lane
remember.
was the one. Yeah.
It was, the original producers was Zero Mistel and Gene Wilder.
Yes.
Oh,
And then
Wilder.
Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick did the stage production,
Right,
which they made a
right,
movie off.
Right, that's the one. Yeah. So Mel wasn't in the original. He did it all, but he wasn't
did it all, but he
physically
wasn't
in
in
it.
it, no.
Or didn't he? No, I think he did.
I don't think
Didn't he play
that was
one of
his
the Nazi
first film.
soldiers or something?
He might have. If he did,
Yeah,
it was
he
a
wasn't
bit-
like one of the two
was a bit
producers.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
cameo or whatever.
He
I
had-
think he made a cameo.
He made cameos in just about every one of his films.
Right.
Do you know what his cameos were in Young Frankenstein besides the voiceover?
No.
So if you look in the house, you'll see like little statue heads on like stair rail posts.
Yeah. Okay.
And things like that, and they're kind of just leaned back with their eyes closed.
Right.
That's a bust of his head.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I'll have to look.
Well, he also did. He played another part when the monster found that little girl at the well,
Right.
And the father and the mother that were looking for them. Mel Brooks played the father.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to go back and watch it.
What about movies like I'm thinking classics like Sound of Music, like Mary Poppins, like what's the other one?
The Mary Poppins. There was two guys that worked for Disney
Yep.
that worked together. I can't think of their
They
names.
just made a whole movie about it.
Yeah.
Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh, Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz was probably like
Some of those I know were also stage productions. I don't know which
yeah.
they were first.
back in the day. Like
So-
Elmer Bernstein was huge. He was doing all kinds of music. for
There was
movies.
another one.
he was that when he wasn't out hunting rabbits.
Bernstein.
Elmer.
Rabbits.
Oh wow, Elmer.
You know what's got a great soundtrack too? That I listen to classic music a lot, so they play a lot of film scores sometimes. And To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah.
Has a beautiful soundtrack to it.
I haven't seen that movie in so
Yeah,
long.
Yeah.
it was just So
It's good.
again, same thing. It's just, it wouldn't be the same movie. Just wouldn't be the same. I mean, it's
One of my favorite character names, but it's in the book first. But Boo Radley.
Boo.
I love Boo Radley. What a name.
Yep.
Yeah. It just
Totally
sounds
describes everything.
good. Boo Radley.
Turns out to be the hero, but anyway, Boo Radley. Trying to think of other movies. I'm kind of thinking from the movie end. You guys are thinking from the music end, I know, but trying to think of movies I've seen where I'm like, oh, it's a great
So
soundtrack.
what like I know we don't really buy CDs and records and stuff like that much anymore, but if you had one in your past of like a soundtrack or a movie score that you bought and maybe wore out the tape or CD of.
I had a cassette. Danny Elfman,
Uh-huh.
Music for a Darkened Theater.
Okay.
It was a compilation of multiple films that he had written for us. It was Batman, the original Michael Keaton, and
Uh-huh.
and
Yep.
that was Danny Elfman.
Yep.
And then Beetlejuice.
He's done pretty
I was
much
gonna
all
say,
the
he
Tim
works
Burton
with Tim
movies.
Yeah,
Burton.
pretty much
Yeah,
all. If it's
yeah.
Tim Burton, it's Danny
Danny
Elfman.
Elfman, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, in Nightmare Before Christmas, he voices Jack. Danny
Oh,
Elfman is the voice of Jack. He did the song, and Tim Burton said, "Well, why don't you just voice the character?"
Right.
So he
I
said,
don't, I
"Okay."
don't know him.
Yeah. Don't know Tim Burton?
No, I don't know Jack.
Anyways.
No, I was thinking
But, yeah.
too. You had said this in the spark. Oh, didn't the dude from Stray Cats, Brian
Setzer.
Didn't he do some
yeah.
film scores?
Maybe.
Look
I don't
him
have
up
to
and
look.
see, because I feel like there was a movie that I remember that hearing that he had done the film score for it.
Yeah. So.
But he's a good musician, is what I'm saying. Like he
Yeah.
does orchestral type, you know,
Mhm.
directing, writing, whatever. I mean, he composing, I guess. Yeah, he actually does composing. It's not just,
Right.
you know, some of these dudes just do music. But
Or do a song.
what about African American composers? There's got to be some that did great movie scores. I mean, I'm trying to think. Even if it's more recent, like I don't know, has Jay-Z ever composed a movie, or there's got to be some people.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I'll tell you what, Straight Outta Compton had a good score, but that was cover tunes mostly. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's just their music. But that had a great score. What about John Singleton did that movie Poetic Justice?
Mm-hmm.
That had a nice soundtrack. There was a lot of stuff. Even Spike Lee's had some good soundtracks. The one from Malcolm X, the one from Do the Right Thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good soundtrack. I wonder who he used, because I don't think he did it. So he must have used some people because those are good soundtracks. He's got a very distinct sound as well. I bet he used the same guy in a lot of his movies.
Probably works,
Spike has a
collaborates with
very
the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of
What
the
was
horns.
What movie
and
was
the-
it again? Sorry.
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing. Probably start there, or even what is it? Mo Better Blues? No,
Yeah.
that's Mo Money, right? No, Mo Better Blues.
Mo Better Blues.
With Denzel and Wesley Snipes. That had a great soundtrack. A lot of great jazz and kind of a good vibe there.
Mo Money was good too.
No, that wasn't even a good movie.
I mean, it was a good soundtrack. It's a good
Really?
soundtrack.
Mo
Yeah.
Money?
Yeah.
But that was probably more like a. It was. Sorry, but it's
wasn't-
supposed to.
Cover hip hop.
Yeah, it was. And when I say cover, some of these songs that we get, like for instance, "Let It Go," it derived from the movie, and then it became right. And then there's others where
Yeah,
the song's
people
already
will
out
cover
there,
it.
and they take a song and they use it.
Right. Mhm.
So Bill Lee did the scores for "She's Gotta Have It,"
Okay.
"School Days," "Do the Right Thing," "Mo
Okay.
Better Blues." That was Spike Lee's dad.
Okay.
Oh,
that
wow.
makes sense.
Bill Lee.
He
Wow.
used his sister in it too. His sister
Okay.
was an actress in it, a couple of movies. So it sounds like he has a talented family. But yeah.
Okay.
But so Bill Lee has a sound, is what I'm saying. Like there's a certain sound
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of
that you
horns,
hear, and you know, yeah, it's a lot of horns, and it's
a lot of
yeah.
jazz, and
A lot of down notes and kind of I don't know music enough to know the right
Minors.
sound, but yeah, and it goes with the mood of the movie very well.
Interesting.
I mean, it's actually really really good. There's another movie that was jumping in my head and jumped back out that I thought you were talking, and I was like, that had a good film score or a good yeah. What was it? It was an older, like the songs were older, because probably the movie was. I'm trying to remember. If I think of it, I'll bring it up again. But man, it's gonna bug me now because you were talking about. You said, "Oh
I
yeah,
said Mo Money.
Mo Money." Yeah. No, I was trying to think of.
David Wayans, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, the movie itself was kind of
Thinking
silly,
about
but yeah.
Major Pain.
Major
Major
Pain's
Pain.
funny.
you know,
What we have here is the
you
failure.
know, Dark Knight
to
has a good
communicate.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the Dark
yeah.
Knight soundtrack,
And that's
it's really
you said
intense.
that was.
and who was that?
John Zimmer or something? Was that?
Well, the very, very first, the Michael Keaton and
It's Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, it's
that-
Batman.
It is
Dark
Zimmer,
Knight.
the new
right,
one's Hans
yeah.
Zimmer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dark Knight is.
It's gonna
Hans
jump
Zimmer.
out of my head. I wish I could remember that. I was thinking of one. I know the track would be good. It doesn't matter. Obviously, some of the Disney films
Mm-hmm.
Well,
have
yeah.
some good soundtracks.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Mulan has a good one. I mean, all of them do. Those are kind of show tune-ish sometimes because obviously they wrote them for
Right.
the movie.
They're
I
a
guess, is what
musical.
I'm saying.
It's,
Yeah,
it's basically a musical. Yeah.
My favorite's
Right.
Aladdin.
Yeah,
Still.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, no, it's got some great songs in it. Even when Will Smith did it.
Yeah, both. That's one
I
where
didn't
that's
see that
one
one.
where both. The live action is good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was good.
It
Couldn't
wasn't
bring
bad.
myself to watch it.
Yeah, it was good. No, it was good. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Robin Williams is still. I felt did a better, not better. It's just
It's a
different.
different flavor. Yeah, it's different.
It's just different.
different
We'll bring
character.
something different than Robin did, but you cannot keep up with Robin's.
No. Nobody else
just-
has that energy.
Comedy.
Nah.
Oh, yeah.
And just
Yeah.
Timing.
the quickness of the changing and the voice and the references and everything. It's crazy.
I always wonder when he would come in for his voice work, how much stuff they didn't use, how
Oh
much
my
because
gosh.
they had to just
Can you
have
imagine if there's outtakes? Of
just
it somewhere?
hours and
That'd
hours
be
of
awesome.
him just riffing, and just going through it, just going, we got to keep this, we can't use all this,
Right.
we got to pick the best of it, you know?
Right.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's obviously a genius, but in many ways. Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else? Any other big, huge? I'm sure the audience is screaming.
No.
You gotta talk about this.
I'm just thinking about soundtracks now. I used to have the Stand By Me soundtrack on tape. I wore
Oh,
that
that's a
thing
good
out.
one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
See, I like the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Yeah.
because
yeah,
it
that's
had
pretty good.
70s funk, 60s funk. It had
Mm-hmm.
it even had new wave, Echo and the Bunnymen, had a little bit
Yeah.
of country here and there.
Yeah.
It had everything.
No, it's good. No, definitely. It's part of what makes those movies, right?
Right.
Obviously, like you said at the beginning, right? I mean, it's
Backdraft.
Backdraft.
That's right.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, had the
Yeah.
CD. Yeah,
You learned all
Oh,
those
yeah,
songs
we
on
used-
piano too.
we
I could
used-
play most of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used some of that in videos.
We used it all. We
Yeah.
we beat that to death. We beat that music to death. I'd hear it like I was watching like Monday Night Football one time, and I'm all, that's Backdraft. They're like showing some kind of stats or something. And I'm going, I know that music.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, it's good stuff, man. Music is huge. I mean, obviously, it makes a big difference. And again, there's always these iconic sort of songs at times that come out and make them like Jerry Maguire. I remember in they got a Bruce Springsteen song in there at the end when he's giving his little speech and she says, "You had me at hello," or whatever. Or maybe it was even before that. Anyway, It's this moment in the movie where there's just, and again, I'm not a huge I love big explosions and stuff more than falling in love. But the point is he's sort of in this complete place of vulnerability, and he's trying to, there's just teetering. Is she going to take him back or go with him or whatever? And they play this Bruce Springsteen song, and it's Secret Garden, and it's really good. That wasn't it.
He had more than 2 songs?
Forgot to meet the
He
channel.
did have more than 2 songs. Bruce Springsteen, he had a few more. Yeah. Wow. That's funny. Well, cool, man. Well, any movie soundtracks you like, tell us, put them in the feed, let us know, or composers, or just posers. I don't know. In the feed.
Or composters.
My favorite composer.
Some commies, some composers. No, but seriously, put them in there, and I'm sure somebody is way more knowledgeable than us and probably has a completely artistic view of this, and you'll have some, who knows, some Russian guy or some whatever that. I was watching actually a little biography, a documentary on, oh man, why is his name going to jump? I want to say Polanski, but it's not him. Brian De Palma, and he was talking about some people he used in some of his movies, and they weren't names I recognized, and the movies even were, because it kind of went chronologically, so they started in his early days. Amazing though, musicians and just guys who are even just musically gifted. So yeah, if you know some people, throw them in the feed, let us know, or just favorite movies that you feel the music helped make the movie. We would love to see that, and it'd be some great feedback for us and for you, and we can keep it rolling. All right, guys. I always get to the end of the show, and Scott does this bugging thing for his camera. He's like,
well, you said you.
Oh, you.
So, I was
So
pointing
you're
at
like you.
Like you, right there.
Right, because if somebody's watching on YouTube, it's like, hey.
YouTube.
Yeah, and don't forget. No, anyway,
do it.
it's like we're getting money. We're not getting any money from this.
Money. Bring us money and soda.
We get money if you throw coins into this bottle.
And we've also had Diet Coke, too,
Ting.
in case you're around.
Yeah, we do. Oh, awesome.
I'm composing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Either that or the boat's coming in.
I think I'm decomposing, actually.
All right, everybody. That's it. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Bye.